Christ has been given many titles in the Old and in the New Testament, but one of them is, as this lesson presents it, Christ as the Lord of the Sabbath. And this one was pronounced by Jesus himself, according to Dr. Luke.
Yes, but doesn't it seem to you that every quarter we have a lesson about the Sabbath?
You might be right, but its plain observation Luke saw Christ as a strong defender and keeper of the Sabbath, and he made it a goal to clarify what really Jesus stood for, how he observed the Sabbath. Dr. Luke presented every story with Christ and the Sabbath with a purposeful intent in his mind.
Okay, Luke's right to the Gentiles though,
That's true.
as we have learned before. So why bring up the Sabbath? And what is even more surprising to me is that he refers to the Sabbath twice as much as the other Gospels do. Huh.
Firstly, as we begin reading the Gospel, Luke tells us that Jesus had a custom to worship and pray on unusual places of gatherings on Sabbath. Just a lifestyle, as we, the 21st century people, will call it. However, what does our time spent in church every Sabbath mean for us? Do we really want to drive and meet these people there? Something is missing in the worship, and I don't mean just to say it, to be critical. It just falls short for me sometimes.
So Jesus had a custom for Sabbath. Good, we do too. Customs are good, but they can make things sometimes meaningless as well.
Sure. So let's see what the Sabbath's message and meaning was. Nothing else but creation and recreation, restoration, salvation, and deliverance, and everything should fall under this line of meaning. The question for me is, how much of the Sabbath is a recreation for me personally? And also, what in my worship or service benefits those who are around me?
It's interesting when Jesus reads in the synagogue. It's always to bring the text alive, to be real and practical. Sometimes we go to church just so we can feel good about it. We read, we nod our heads, we say amen. But look what happens when Jesus told the church visitors that the things that they have been reading about are becoming a reality. How exciting! But they got angry. Look at the text. We see so shocking stories about what the Sabbath had become. Jesus and the men of his time had so different understanding about the Sabbath.
And let's be real. Jesus was conducting his battles with sin and evil on Sabbath, preaching, healing, public gathering. No work that was accomplishing that purpose was unholy. It wasn't just about rest and setting apart, something that we Adventists are very good at guarding. Along with the rest and the preaching the word, how do we follow Christ in bringing healing and restoration, new beginnings for the people around us? Do we have ways, practices, or even training on the part of what Sabbath is also about?
The Sabbath only makes sense through Jesus. He is the Lord of it, and his mission to save and help people is the heart of it.
Yeah. And now, when we get to chapter 6 in Luke, Jesus already is battling with the wrong concepts of the Sabbath that the Pharisees have already constituted. And Luke makes it clear in his narrative by subsequently telling us two stories that happen on Sabbath. And in the second, Jesus is asking the question, does the law permit good works on Sabbath? Or is it for doing evil? I didn't see that coming.
Can you imagine that? I mean, how can we lose so much focus? What are we doing? Good? Bad? Nothing?
Wrong concepts and instructions lead to messed up priorities in life. Hence, this lead to wrong practices. And people considered that delivering a cow from an unfortunate fall in a pit or leading a donkey out for water is way more justified on Sabbath. But when it came to a human, quote, there were 6 days of the week to work, don't come for help for healing on Sabbath. End of quote, the leader of a synagogue.
Right, yeah. Keep the Sabbath of this mess.
Have I lost from my focus the pure intent that God had when setting apart the Sabbath? It was supposed to be a peace from heaven on earth after the fall. I'm afraid that sometimes I feel that I don't walk as Jesus walked on Sabbath, and it feels like I'm missing on something big.
The Sabbath is one of the greatest gifts that we have received. Jesus is the Lord of it, and He made it for us. It's a major element in our relationship. But if we remove Him from it and the man that it was created for out of it, then what is it left? Hopefully this lesson will be something more than just us restating what we know with our sermons about the Sabbath.
Let's rediscover how we can spend the Sabbath, and let's not be afraid of change.